nearby. She's absolutely fine. She's safe. We'll show you her very soon.
A bit later.
Yes. So right now we are streaming from our friend's house. We already been here once with you, and today is
First
raining.
time when we came to Kiev, it was first stream from Kiev. It was from the same place, but we could sit on the yard and show you the nature, but now it's raining, so we had to hide a bit.
Yes, we are hiding on the porch.
Hello, hello.
Hey everyone. Hey Jessica.
Jessica is here. Hi.
Amruta Kulkarni. Hello. Hi everyone, guys.
Hi, Rubina. Hi, everyone.
So, we'll tell you what happened here in Ukraine during last week. Actually, quite a lot of things happened.
Yeah.
In different spheres of the life. First of all, let's start from what? From our currency decline. So this week, National Bank of Ukraine reduced the value of Ukrainian hryvnia, our national currency, by 25%. They kept it steady for whole period of war, for these 5 months.
Full-scale war.
Yes, but now they had to reduce the value as our exporters and all the sectors of economies who's producing something, they struggle because real currency exchange rate was 25% higher than it was officially. So it created a dark market, which wasn't that good, and many people who produced something, they lost money, and of course IT specialists and many more. So right now, yeah, we expect the increase in price of all main products during next few weeks or months.
Drastically. So we already had this great increase from the start of the full-scale war. Many groceries increased in price by 2, and now we are expecting even bigger increase of all the prices. While of course salaries cannot increase at the moment because economy of Ukraine is in a very bad situation due to the war, and almost half of the people lost their jobs.
Yes.
So the times are going to become even harder than they were, unfortunately.
But I mean, the economy just needs it.
Yeah.
We understand that our country lost more than 30% of GDP, so obviously that the currency rate should become lower, and especially previous rate was connected, linked straightly to US dollar, and of course we know that other currencies felt against dollar because euro and Japanese yen, it all decreased, and Polish zloty also decreased. So like just imagine, as our currency was tightened to US dollar, so during the time when it was stable, it actually increased in the value comparing to euro, comparing to Polish zloty, comparing to yen, which is like stupid, as our economy, we understand it's reducing, so it just wasn't right.
Yeah, but it was like it was made artificially in order to single people help to survive. But by the end, after 5 months, it started to influence economy and big manufacturers so much that they couldn't do that anymore. So now, like, people who have their salaries in Ukrainian currency
Which is
will
absolutely
struggle.
absolute majority, of course.
Yes, absolute majority, and of course, people who don't have salaries at all, that would be this will be a big problem. But it's made for the global prosperity of Ukraine. Not of course, we're not talking about prosperity at the moment.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
just surviving.
yeah, it's only about surviving, but still, it's
To the good.
global values.
To the good. This week, Ukraine signed the agreement with Turkey and the United Nations, and same agreement was signed between Russia, Turkey, and the United Nations about exporting Ukrainian grain from Ukraine to other countries which need it. And
Just to recap the problem.
so yes, last year we had the greatest harvest of grain ever. So Ukraine had a huge amount of grain or wheat, and we, of course, supposed to export it to countries which like don't have enough food. Actually, majority of African countries and Middle East countries and India also demand some food from Ukraine, of course. So we had this harvest in our deposits in some storages, and we didn't manage to export it because the war started, and that's why all the ports were blocked by Russia, and we didn't export anything, and that could provoke a global famine. And like
And as for Ukraine, one more economic problem because, of course,
We're
exporting
losing this
grain
money.
is one of very big exporting points of
Yeah, sure.
Ukraine. Yeah.
And hopefully, right now, after this agreement, they worked on it so long, so we'll finally will start to export. If, of course, Russia will not break this agreement, because
But
after
Russia already broke this agreement.
yes, I hope that it won't influence in the future this export. But after this agreement was signed on Friday, next day on Saturday they attacked one of our ports, and they just headed a missile next to the grain storage. And the grain storage wasn't ruined, but it was like very close. And after that, Russia.
It could easily get on the fire. It was just an accident that this grain didn't get on fire.
First, Russia said that they didn't anything. They did nothing. It's not
It's
them.
Ukrainians
It's just-
are hitting are
Not-
bombing themselves.
Not even like that. They didn't explain it. They just said that it's not them. But
As usually.
of course, it's their missiles, which are very definite, and nobody is using them except Russia. But then on the next day, they understood that they need to say that it was actually their hit, otherwise it will be investigated easily. So they said, yes, it was our strike, but next to the grain storage, it was some military equipment, and we destroyed it. They said.
We didn't break the agreement because we actually didn't put those grain on fire.
Yeah.
But it was 100 meters away from that. So like
So-
as usually.
I do hope that this export will go on, because it's very needed by so many people in the world and so many countries to provide them food and to stop the famine, which could start easily. And next thing, which is really important, is that during this week, some drops. So
Still
during
raining.
this week there were no very much movements on the front line, and some experts say that they noticed that Russian officials, they started to talk about a ceasefire. So like governmental people from Russia, they understood that they don't have enough manpower and war equipment to continue attack aggressively. I mean, they can continue this war for ages, but they cannot move forward quick and aggressive right
By
now.
ground, yeah.
Yeah. Right now,
So they still have an opportunity to bomb us with lots of missiles,
so they
but not by ground, by
so they
troops.
supposed that they can freeze the conflict. So because they already got so many territories from Ukraine, yeah, they annexed so many territories right now till the moment. And when the balance of powers starting to change, when we received so many weapons from the Western countries, and
From the USA and
many
Canada.
experts they think that Ukraine will be able to counterattack very soon. They started to talk about peace, but in their terms, of course, peace is to freeze the conflict
Which is never
annex
good for Ukraine.
territories, and then have a break to pick up some new forces and to continue the war. So it's like everybody understands it, but like when you see that they started to talk about some kind of peace, you understand that probably not everything is so good on their side.
Not everything.
Yes,
Everything is not good, let's say.
and that just gives the hope that our forces can counterattack and we can recapture again these territories we lost. So we of course still need more and more weapons, but when we receive it, I hope that these things, the like war realities, also start to change.
We can only hope about that, but for your understanding, the situation is like, okay, it sounds nice. Russia can start to talk about peace, but like when Russia says peace, it's never peace. It's something like their own concept, which means all people who are dead in Ukraine, they are dead because we wanted that. All lands we have taken, we are going to keep them. You are just your way is to say, okay, we are fine that you killed all our people, you ruined half of our country, and you have taken so many territories. We are okay with that. We sign a peaceful agreement, and what it actually means is that they will just take few years in order to stabilize their economy, to build more missiles and weapons, and in 2 years they will definitely start to do that again to conquer Ukraine, because like
We're 100.
believe us, we know that for 100%.
We're
These are
100%.
our neighbors, our closest neighbors by the territory, so we know these people and what they're going to do in 100%.
We are-
It's not a conspirology.
We are
It's
so positive that if Putin's army is not defeated, they will not stop and they will just regroup and continue their attack.
For sure.
So we need them to be defeated. And like our army is working on that with the help of our allies across the world. Yeah, June was asking about how was our family dinner with parents.
Our family dinner was great. It was very intimate. It was very warm. Yeah, like sincere talks. Like, you know, when people are in this kind of situation, you start to rearrange your values, and many primitive things, they start not to be any more important, yeah, while all those family values and love and
Caring.
and caring and peace. This becomes the main point why you're living, for what you're living. Yeah, so it was a great evening, but after that my parents came back to Kropivnitsky, where they live, to my granny, and yesterday Russia headed 13 missiles in the morning to Kropivnitsky. So 2 were
Beaten down. Taken down.
yeah, were taken down. But Kropivnitsky is not that very good defended by these anti-missile systems, because it's central Ukraine, and it's
We suppose we don't know for sure.
yeah,
of course.
it's a small city, so 11 missiles could actually
Hit the ground.
yeah, hit the ground. And of course my parents were really scared yesterday, because it's a small city, so they could hear each time they bombed them, and like the whole city is in panics for this last 2 days. But like it's our reality, unfortunately. So sometimes different cities from Ukraine have go through that. Of course, we don't have to go through that.
Yeah.
It's just that somebody made us going through that.
From the other point, cities like Kharkiv, they are under attack each day.
Yeah.
Because Russian troops are close to the city, and it's the second biggest city in Ukraine. It's very beautiful and very prosperous. It was very prosperous. Now it's like
Now it's
ruined, half ruined.
I guess even more than half
Yeah.
ruined. Like there is almost nothing left from the city.
Because they don't use those very expensive missiles which they launch for 1,000 kilometers. They use like
Stupid missiles,
artillery,
which can,
ballistic
yeah,
missiles, very simple, much cheaper. As they are close to the city, they bomb it frequently, like each day people die.
yeah.
And of course, on the front line, each day, dozens and dozens of soldiers die defending our freedom and our land.
I hope everything gets under control as soon as possible. Thank you so much. We really hope that so. Also, 13 missiles. Wow, glad they are okay. Yeah, so 13 missiles were headed, 2 were neutralized, and 11 actually reached Kropivnitsky.
To different places.
Yeah,
One
and
is
my parents could hear each time, and many of their friends, the windows in their apartments just were broken due to this, how that's called, flow
sound
of-
wave.
yeah, sound wave, yeah, wave, yeah,
Waves.
yeah. So sad for your family, right, Ju? Hope they are safe. Thank you, Ju. Yeah, yeah, as for now they are, but yeah, we already told you this problem. Chapati is controlling territory.
Talking to other dogs.
Yeah, so it's there is no single place in Ukraine where it's absolutely safe, but of course we try to do our best in order to make everything which is under our control. Yeah. Mindful flow yoga. I loved your post about your wedding and your parents. Thank you so much. We're going to share few more stories about our wedding on August 18th, because like we actually have 2 wedding dates. One date was like a governmental like when you register your marriage in the governmental structure. And this was a very small party, but we wanted to make 2 different days because we thought that making everything in one day will be kind of a mess. So on 20th July we made this governmental registration, and August 18 we had church marriage, which was actually like our
Wedding day.
biggest ceremony with many people there, with photo sessions, videos.
Not Indian style many.
Yeah, not Indian style many. We had
Western style many. Only
I guess it's even for West, it's a bit maybe.
it's average probably like 100 people.
Yeah, so we had 100, like actually 100, not more, not less.
less.
Yeah, so 100 guests, but it was for Ukraine. It's kind of huge
It's
wedding.
big. It's big.
Yeah, big, not huge, big. Yeah, so on August 18, I guess we'll share a few more stories with you about that, because it's 10 years already. It's
Yeah,
our
it's-
first big anniversary.
Yep.
And last year, when we didn't have all these
Problems.
economic problems
Financial
and
struggles.
financial struggles, we actually felt quite good with our salaries, and everything was fine with our future for at that point. So we thought that this year, when we'll have this 10 years anniversary, we'll make a huge party, like the second wedding again, like not 100 people, only our friends, without relatives, without parents, friends, let's say.
But like a real party,
But-
more than birthday celebration.
Yeah, like 40 people at least, with some maybe musicians. And oh, so we had so many dreams, but of course you know that it's
Not the case for us.
possible as for today. Yeah, so guys, I'm going to check out if you have any more questions, and please you still have time to ask us questions.
We'll show you Chapati very soon.
Yeah,
She's
because
downstairs.
it's still raining a bit, and we're staying at our friends who are waiting for us. So if you won't have any more questions, I guess we will start to finish this.
Start to finish.
Start to finish. Stay
Yes.
strong. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Just a moment. 100 people, that's a lot. Yes, I also think that it's kind of. So it's a small wedding for India, but not for.
Anyway, it's not that small anyway.
Yeah, Joe is
June.
right. Joe is writing. Look forward to seeing your church wedding. Must have been a special day. Yes,
It was
yes,
really special.
It was. But I guess that if we won't have a possibility to make a great anniversary on 10 years, then we'll have many more times greater anniversary
Yeah,
when we're 20.
we'll just postpone it.
Yeah. Maybe you talked about, can you go back to work? No, unfortunately, this is the reality in Ukraine is awful now. Like almost half of the people lost their jobs because so many factories were ruined, were bombed by Russians. So many businesses closed because of the economic problems. Many businesses closed because people who already lost their jobs, they don't have money in order to buy some kind of products, like going to restaurants, to the cafes. So all these cafes start to close, and all those people lose their jobs. So it's like a chain.
It's a snowball.
Yeah, it's a snowball. And unfortunately, like Eugene's expertise is not the one which can actually now be interesting for Ukrainian businesses, like not during this time. So at the moment, Eugene started to study kind of a new, not absolutely new sphere, but he's like
Yeah, I switched a bit.
switched a bit to the different orientation of his expertise in order to finally have this opportunity, because like his expertise is now
Yeah, I'm a strategical
not needed
marketologist,
in
and what I
Ukraine.
do is I make rebrandings. I help with marketing strategies to different businesses, and of course, to help these businesses, you need to know the competition and audience a lot. And it's so much about sociology and people's psychology and their mentality, and that's why it's very important to know what they need to feel them. So it's hard to work for broad companies because you don't know their market and their reality and what people do and what their consuming behavior. So when you don't know that, you can't build strategy. So right now I'm switching from strategies to more social media marketing, and it's much easier because like social media is in the most cases about the one generation, for example, generation Y or millennials, people there more homogeneous around the world. They're other in different countries, and the territory and the place of being and living is not that much important comparing to like brick and mortar strategy. So
Yeah, so all this targeting stuff, it's more about mass numbers, about facts.
yeah,
While Eugene's previous competition expertise is
more about
about
insights.
behavior insights, which is never easy to know if you're talking about some other countries. Yeah, so we are working on that, but
And also, I was a freelancer for a period of time after we found Chapati. I never went to office again because before that I was an office worker. So especially during the war, we're not considering office work, only freelance. And also, yeah, I'll just say that the competition in Kiev, for example, in our capital, it increased. Like some people, some experts say that it increased 10 times.
yeah, so
So,
just imagine if half people lost their jobs,
and
what's going on with the competition.
other people from other regions, of course, they come to Kiev as the capital, and they start to search for a job over there.
Yeah, those
So
who had to escape from
So
Kharkiv.
the competition is very high and salaries they are lowered. So I mean, it's just the worst period ever for Ukraine,
Yeah.
of course, and we just need to go through that.
Yeah, Joe writes that we went to on a trip down the Nile for our 10th anniversary. We have now been married for 42 years.
Yes.
Wow, Joe, congrats. It's
5 years more than your parents.
yes, that's great.
And Nile trip is
It's,
must be
it's
amazing.
also yeah, it's amazing. I really love Egypt and ancient Egyptian culture, and I guess that
you used to write a PhD
yeah,
thesis
PhD thesis on Egypt. So as for
on ancient
me,
Egypt culture.
yes, as for me, this Nile trip would be also amazing, and just
But especially 32 years ago.
yes, yes.
I can imagine.
Okay, I wanted to tell one story, but I guess that it's better to write that to Drew privately because it's long to tell. I'm about Hercule Poirot. How is Chapati doing? Karsik is asking. Just give us a moment. We are already finishing, and we're going to show you Chapati because we're upstairs.
We have internet
We have
connection over
internet
here.
connection, and Chapati is hanging out with our friends
Outside in the yard.
outside in the closed yard. Jessica is asking, Christina, were you able to start your school this week? Just not this week. I already contacted with these guys and wrote them a letter and asked about some questions which I had. But I guess I will start from the next week because like this week we had this anniversary and few meetings, and now we're hanging out with friends. So I guess just I didn't want to start this education when we have so many meetings. I wanted to have absolutely clear mind for that. I still have time. They like
Yeah,
it's not obligatory to start
it's self-placed course.
Yeah. Okay. Just can we see Chapati once?
Of course.
Okay, guys. I guess we will finish on
Christina's
this
telling
point.
bye to you, and
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
will
your
tell
guide
you bye.
to Chapati.
Yeah.
I hope that the internet will not break down and we can see Chapati. Chappy! Chappy! Chap! So, Chapati is near fire. She has her place near, so we were hidden. Probably she said that Kristina's gonna take her upstairs and she doesn't want to. Just Chapati! So she's afraid, she doesn't want to go upstairs. She's like hiding. Chappy!
I guess she's afraid that I'm going to take her hands and
Yeah.
take her
Yeah.
upstairs. And that is why she's telling no, I'm not going.
Okay, so yeah, Chapati is not in the mood. So we will post some pictures of her probably right now. We'll make a picture and post it as a story. So thank you guys for being with us. Thank you for supporting us all the time. Take care of you and your families, and see you next week. We'll be there for you.